All right, we are looking at this next SchoolNet, and it's called Peanut Butter, and it's all about citing text evidence. And so that means you're going to need to go back to the text every single time and figure out what in the world is the right answer. These are the easiest ones, but there's a lot of these questions on your test as you go along. So let's see. First, we always read the text. So, peanut butter. Peanuts first grew in South America. Explorers took them to Africa and Asia, and they were first introduced into the colonies in North America by Africans. Since people first discovered them, peanuts have been ground into a paste and used as flavoring, and in the past, they were used to flavor soups, stews, and other dishes. Peanut butter was first found in recipes in the 1830s. At that time, it was not used by very many people. That changed in 1894 when John Harvey Kellogg introduced nut butters. Kellogg was a vegetarian and he did not eat animal products. He used nut butters as substitutes for cow's milk and butter. Other vegetarians followed his lead and they also used peanut butter as a meat substitute. Peanuts were the least expensive nuts. Peanut butter became the most popular of the nut butters, and it was combined with cheese, meat, and other foods to make sandwiches. I don't think I'd like peanut butter and cheese. Okay, the first mention of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is in 1901. The first commercial peanut butter was made in 1896. The peanuts were ground in adapted meat grinders. The peanut butter was sold door to door, and it was quite expensive. Eventually, people built small peanut butter factories. Peanut butter became easier to afford, and starting in 1920, people could buy sliced bread in grocery stores, and then became easy for kids to make their own sandwiches. Peanut butter became very popular. Today, peanut butter is enjoyed by many people. In fact, Americans eat 857 million pounds of it each year. Oh, I have some over here. I have peanut butter over there. I'd show it to you, but then I don't know, have to get up or something. All right. So, three manufacturers produce most of the world's peanut butter. They are Peter Pan, Skippy, and Jif. The brand that has the largest peanut butter plant, Jif. They are Peter Pan, Skippy, and Jif, the brand that has the largest peanut butter plant in the world. Well, I don't know which one it is. Jif, comma, yeah. Good thing Miss Head's here because that just confused me a little. Peanut butter is used in other food products like cakes and cookies and candy bars. Delicious. Is the main ingredient in Reese's peanut butter cups, hence the name, which was introduced in 1928. It is also used in Snickers, which were first sold in 1930. Peanut butter used to be eaten mostly in the United States, and now it is eaten all over the world. It is a favorite of kids everywhere. However, some kids have peanut allergies. To protect children with allergies, peanut butter is not allowed in some schools. Good to know. All right, question number 1. In the first paragraph, which sentence explains how the peanuts got to North America? So go back to the first paragraph. They were first grown in South America and they took them to Africa and Asia, and they were first introduced in the colonies in North America by Africans. So let's see if we can find that answer. It says look at that question number 1, the choice number 1. The Africans brought them to North America. So I'm going to click it and we'll see. How about the explorers found them in North America? Well, it doesn't say that. And the people in South America shared the peanuts. Has to be A. That was easy. It was right there. Question number 2. In paragraph 5, look, it's even numbered. Which sentence explains why peanut butter became less expensive? Let's go back and look. Eventually, people built small peanut butter factories and butter became easier to afford. Starting in 1920, people could buy the sliced bread. So it has to be up in here where they built the factories and it became easier to afford. So let's look. In paragraph 5, sentence explains why peanut butter is less. People built small peanut butter factories. Well, it says so right there. So let's click that. Does sliced bread make peanut butter cheaper? No, but it is in that paragraph. And peanut butter became popular is also in it, but it doesn't answer the question. So it has to be A. Question number 3. Which statement from the selection shows that peanut butter is used in many foods? Is it the first mention of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches was in 1901? Does that say it's used in a lot of foods? No, that just says It's in peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Starting in 1920, people could buy sliced bread in grocery stores. That doesn't say that it's used in lots of foods, but look at this one. Peanut butter is used in other food products like cakes, cookies, and candy bars. Well, it says it right there, 3 different things that it's in, so it has to be C. According to the last paragraph down there, which explains why the use of peanut butter products in school has declined. It says peanut butter used to be eaten mostly in the United States. Now it's eaten all over the world. It's favorite kids of everywhere. Some kids have peanut allergies, and it says to protect them, it's not allowed in schools. Look at that. So yes, it's a favorite, but look at that allergy piece. So the question, and this one says it's not allowed in schools. So let's see. According to the last paragraph, which explains why we're looking for the why? Is it that it's just not allowed, or is it that some kids have allergies? Ding, ding, ding. It's going to be B. Number 5. Which gives details to support the statement peanuts have been ground into a paste used as a flavoring? Where was that? Peanuts have been ground into a paste as a flavoring. Let's find where it says that. He didn't eat those. Here it talks about the sandwiches ground into adapted meat, and they were sold by door to door. Got to keep looking. Peanut butter is used in food products. Let's see. He used nut butters as substitutes for cow's milk and butter. Isn't talking about a flavoring. He's talking here about replacing things. So that doesn't work. The first mention of peanut butter and jelly is in 1901, isn't about flavorings, but its main ingredient in the Reese's peanut butter cups was introduced in 1928. As a flavoring. Do we see the word flavoring? I don't think it's the substitute, and I don't think it's the sandwiches. I think it has to be C. Yeah, I think it has to be that. I'm looking to see if it even says. So let's look at the Reese's peanut butter cups. The main ingredient, and we know that's what it tastes like. It's like, yeah, I think it has to be that one. Question number 6. Which statement from the text best explains why Alice found Sandy a little annoying? Oh, look at this. We have a second passage. Let's read it. A moment of truth. I knew Alice and Sandy weren't in that peanut butter part. All right. Let me be clear. I like Sandy a lot, and we're good friends. She's pretty, charming, intelligent, and hilarious. I really do like her. However, sometimes being around her can be a little annoying. Everyone seems to bask in her glow, and she always gets all of the attention. It isn't that the attention she gets isn't deserved. Sandy's very friendly, and she always listens to what everyone has to say. Not only does she listen, but she also smiles and nods, regardless of how she actually feels. She makes people think that what they're saying is the most interesting and important thing in the world. She is a born leader, and she seems to have a natural talent for everything she does. With all of those qualities, it makes sense that everyone wants to be her friend. I could deal with all of that, but the annoying part is when I'm next to Sandy, I feel like I'm invisible. Sometimes I feel like Sandy doesn't even know I'm there. For example, the other day, Sandy and I were sitting in the lunchroom talking about our favorite show, and all of a sudden, Heather Lynn and Katie walked up and started talking to Sandy as if I wasn't even there. Sandy didn't say anything about the interruption. She just jumped right into the new conversation, leaving me sitting there awkwardly by myself. I tried to get her attention a few times, but it was impossible. I finished my lunch in silence and I headed off to my social studies class alone. That's so sad. It's times like those that make me wonder why I remain friends with Sandy. Why should I keep hanging out with her when she makes me feel insecure? Isn't it a waste of my time and energy? Shouldn't I move on or at least say something to her about how I feel? Well, I'm too nice to say anything and risk making her feel badly. I'd never want to say anything that would hurt someone's feelings, and I always do my best to help people. For example, when Evan didn't understand what the Code of Hammurabi was, I helped explain it to him. When Kai got to the Greek and Roman myths confused, I helped her straighten them out, although they've confused me a couple times too. So, what do I get out of being so nice to everyone? Do I get to be well liked and popular? Am I invited to every party like Sandy? Do people fight to get me to sit with them at lunch? You would think so, but that just is not the case. I have a few good friends, but most people at school don't even know my name. At least that's what I used to think. But something happened recently that made me reconsider whether or not it was true. You see, Marie Eater was one of the more popular students in school. Had that seemed popular student, you see, Marie Eater, one of the more popular students in school, had what seemed to be a simple project. She had to make a poster in a shadow box that told about the Oregon Trail. For some reason, however, she was having a difficult time with the assignment. I thought about offering my help, but I was positive she wouldn't want my assistance, and then she stopped me in the hallway one afternoon. Hi, Alice, she said, and I was so shocked she knew my name that I didn't even respond. This project doesn't seem to be happening for me, so I was wondering if you could help me with it. You seem to do so well in social studies, you always seem willing to help. Sure, we can get together on Saturday to work on it, I said, still in shock. Saturday came, and things at Marie's house were a bit of a mess. There were miniature wagons all over her room. There were drawings of what appeared to be horses on a poster in the corner. There were papers strewn all over her desk, and the papers were covered in notes. But they didn't seem to be in any kind of logical order. We sat down in the kitchen with her mom, sliced some apples for the two of us, and we ate our snack together and talked about the project. The trail was first used by fur traders, I began, and then later pioneers went in wagons, she said nervously. It was a long and dangerous trip, and they had to travel across deserts and mountains. But, she trailed off, there's just so much information I don't know what to include in my report. Just try to focus on the most important details, I told her. You don't have to include everything that ever happened on the trail. So the trail became the main route west in the 1840s. People were heading west for different reasons. They took wagons loaded with everything they needed, and once they got to the Oregon Territory. Let's take a little more slowly. Let's look at the books you took out of the library for the information you found and the information you found online, and we'll figure out how to organize this project. It'll work out. We sat down and started to put a project together, and it took some effort, but after we had worked on it a while, we started to make real progress. The next week, Marie presented her project to the class, and it was great. Her shadow box showed a typical wagon train, and her poster was clearly organized and filled with interesting facts and details. Everyone, including our teacher, Mrs. Thomas, loved the presentation. After class, Marie found me at my locker and said, "You really are a miracle worker. You know that? I don't think, and I mean this seriously, I could ever have done this project without you. I would have failed. You're a great friend, Alice." It was at that moment that I finally understood something. I had really helped Marie, and it made a difference in her life. And I also realized that even if I sometimes felt invisible next to Sandy, I really wasn't. People knew who I was, and they even thought of me as a good friend and could rely on me to help them. If they recognized it, I guess it was time for me to start recognizing it too. And now, when Sandy gets yet another invitation to another party, or when I get crowded out of the conversation with her, it doesn't bother me like it used to. She's a great person in many ways, but you know what? So am I. Oh, what a good little story. Which statement from the text best explains why Alice finds Sandy a little annoying? So Alice is Sandy's friend. Sandy was very friendly and always listens to what everyone has to say. Well, is that annoying to listen? I don't know. She was a born leader and she seems to have natural talent for everything she does. I don't think that's annoying. I tried to get her attention a few times, but it was impossible. Oh, yeah. Remember when those friends came and that was bad? So let's click that for now. Thought about offering to help, but I was positive she wouldn't want my assistance. Well, that's not even about Alice and Sandy. So it has to be here because it would be pretty annoying to not be able to get somebody's attention, wouldn't it? All right. Question number 7. Which detail from a moment of truth suggests that Alice was good at social studies? Okay, well, I even think I remember her saying when her friend came to her, trail route, da 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 da. Let's see, where was that? She comes to her. Hi, Alice. This project doesn't seem to be happening. And look at this. She says, "You seem to do well in social studies." So there's that quote. Okay. So what is it? Which detail helps to suggest that? The project doesn't seem to be happening for me, and I was wondering if you could help with it. Well, gosh, that's right there. I'm going to click that for now. And it does indicate that she might be good at it, but let's just make sure the others aren't right. For example, when Evan didn't understand what the Code of Hammurabi was, I helped explain it. Oh, huh. That's pretty good too. She helped that one too. So we could have picked that one. Huh. How about this one? Sure, we can get together on Saturday. Well, that really isn't it, right? Or it took some effort, but after we had worked together for a while, we started to make real progress. I think it has to be A or B, but how are we going to decide which one it should be? So here, her friend is saying it isn't coming together. So we could infer that she thinks her friend is good at it. But if we go back up to the Hammurabi part, let's find that. Evan didn't understand, and I helped him with it. Let's look here. Let's highlight that. What did it say in here? Makes me insecure. I'm too nice to say anything. For he helped. So I really think that that is the better one because this is actually talking about those social studies things. And while this other one down here is talking about social studies, it's really wondering if she could get help. I think B is the best answer on that, but that one's a little tricky. All right, question number 8. Why does Alice wait for Marie to ask before helping her with the project? Let me see. She could see she was struggling. I thought about offering for help, but I was positive she wouldn't want my assistance. Look at that. So yeah, look, she was sure Marie didn't want her help. So let's click that for now. She thought it would be a waste of time. Well, I don't think that's indicated. She doesn't know much about the Oregon Trail. I don't think that really matters. They had all the other research pieces. She seems busy helping Kai. Well, while that is true, I really think she just has a low self-esteem and she is sure that Marie wouldn't want her help. All right, final question. Read this sentence from A Moment of Truth. Sandy didn't say anything about the interruption. She just jumped right into the new conversation, leaving me sitting there awkwardly by myself. Let's see, that was up here. It's right here. So let's find that and just kind of highlight it so we've got it. What does the word awkwardly mean? Awkwardly. Do you think it means, let's try it, that she sitting there clumsily? Clumsily kind of means she's not comfortable, right? Friendly by myself? Well, that doesn't even make sense. Lonely by myself? Well, she's lonely, but I don't think that's the same as awkwardly because awkward and clumsy are closer. So let's see. Plainly. No, I think it has to be clumsily. Clumsily because it is the best synonym for that. And you see how I plugged those words in there? That does help. All right. Well, I think that's the end of this one. So I hope these help. Bye.